Premier Wall is on the line with us now. Premier Wall, so let's start off with this. How about Andrew Albers last night of the Minnesota Twins?
Hey, guys, that was just crazy. I mean, there was obviously a big build-up to it in the province because we knew this was a first time in 20 years?
Terry Poole retired in 91. So that would have been 22 years?
You know, and so we're driving up to northern Saskatchewan or to Canada Lake and kind of following the game as best we can on social media. And it took me a while to kind of tune into it on social media. And by the time I got onto the game, it was in the 7th inning, 3 hits. It's a beatdown. It's 7-0, and I think we ended up going 8 1/3. I think he got one out in the 9th, and then they brought in the closer. And so the best debut in, I don't know, what was it, another
10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. So this is just great. And now we got to get Andrew to get on Twitter so we can actually send him some love, because I don't think he's got a Twitter account. We've been looking for it all day, and maybe someone out there knows him well and can encourage him to do that so we can bug him on Twitter.
Well, there's a blog out there on CanadianBaseballNetwork.com from Andrew Albers. He's been blogging for them lately, and there's you can send some love there. I'll just tweet out the link to the latest blog after last night, as he's pretty proud of being from Saskatchewan, waving the flag here and for Canada as well, doing it with fellow Canuck Justin Morneau with the Minnesota Twins. Also, Andrew Albers coming up here on the Green Zone, an interview Woodsy and I had earlier, and we have Graham Dillette in the back half hour, who is in the PGA Championship.
Hey, hey guys, sorry, Premier. I was going to ask you, though, and I just wanted to weigh in quickly. I was going to ask you, should we be waving our flag a little bit more as Canadians when we have stories like this to build off of?
You know, we really, really should. And you know, I think we can actually do it provincially. We've certainly tried to do that with Graham Dillette. That's what that whole Think Sask thing is about, with companies kind of paying, or, you know, being a part of the partnership that can get that logo on him. Whenever someone, you know, when someone like Andrew is doing what he's doing, we should be talking about it. We should be tweeting and on Facebook. And this is a big, big deal. And it's true for the whole country. I mean, I'm kind of being Saskatchewan-centric a little bit, admittedly, but I think you're right, Glenn. This is it's something that we should all be very, very proud of. Not just in sports, but in arts and culture. And we have those who excel in all of those fields. So I don't think we can talk too much about it, especially with a story like Andrew has, when, you know, he was sort of really fighting for his dream to come true and driving from, I think, Florida to Arizona to go to spring training to just try to make the team, and then he blows the doors off last night. It's just great stuff.
And he'll get this.
It says to our kids, sorry, Jimmy, it says to our kids, hey, just keep working, and it can happen for you too.
You know, that's exactly right. I mean, I think sometimes we all worry as parents that when we tell our kids, look, whatever you're dreaming, you should dream it and you should work for it, because dreams can come true. And you wonder, well, when they turn away, are their eyes rolling? So you need real life examples. And boy, we have a lot of them right now with Graham and what Andrew did last night, and even obviously what some football players have been doing lately. So I just think it's great stuff.
And someone else who's dreaming, we'll bring him on now, is the King Gary Nickel, who thinks he's going to start trying now. So look out, world.
Yeah, you saw that tweet, hey?
Yeah, saw the tweet.
Let the world know.
You all went 1-1 last week, so the Premier leads the rankings with a 16-6 record. The Gnome Winthorpe is 12-10, and Gary, you're 10-12, below 500, struggling along.
Yeah, the Gnome is first to get knocked down, and then it's you, Mr. Premier. I'm coming in hot.
But Gary, you got to dream, and you got to work to make sure your dreams come true. Don't ever stop.
Just like my boy Andrew Albers, you guys. I'll do whatever it takes to reach that summit.
I was surprised you weren't one of the guys in the Albers army that was in KC last night with the shirt off and the paint on.
Oh, that's where I wanted to be.
I retweeted that picture. I mean, I don't know how that happened. I guess they probably heard he was starting and just headed down there. That's the other great thing about Saskatchewan, kind of on Glenn's point, and at least in this province, we have people who are prepared to celebrate, you know, a team success or an individual success in all these different endeavors. And I'm guessing those guys, I mean, they would have found out he was going to start, make his debut, and booked an overpriced flight and headed down there to take their shirts off. So,
and that's the thing too with this, you guys. Like, I got a bunch of buddies with Sask baseball and all that, and Albers has been the crown jewel of this province when it comes to baseball for a long time. He did the whole national Canadian team. He did his 2011 team went to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2012. They finished, I think it was third or something like that, in the Pan American Games, won the gold medal. He's always the central part of these teams. He's a huge deal and has been for a long time around these parts, and it's fantastic to finally see this come to fruition, especially against a team like the Kansas City Royals, who were red hot, and he just mowed them down. It's wild.
Date night, you should be inspired by that. It can happen for you too.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm trying to pick up the momentum.
Let's get to the picks. The Premier has Saskatchewan over the Calgary Stampeders. Gary, what do you got?
I got to go with the...
I'll boo you. We'll all boo you if you pick Calgary.
Okay, I'll take the Raptors then. For the sake of not being made fun of in public again.
So Winthorpe has the Calgary Stampeders. Premier Wall, Toronto at Montreal with Jim Popp as the coach.
I like Montreal in this.
Ooh, little spark with the coaching change. Gary, what do you got?
Well, I got to take the Argos for the simple fact I got to gain some more here.
So there you have it. Those are the picks for the week in the Canadian Football League from the Premier and the King. It's the King versus the Premier. Premier's looks like he's going to run away with it, but it's early in the season. Premier,
shout out, just a shout out to Graham. He's coming on the show soon. He's coming on later.
Andrew Albers is next, and then after that, it's Graham Dillette, and then the 3-minute warning in the final half hour.
It's a big Saskatchewan week. Thanks, fellas. Have a good night.
Thank you, Premier Wall, Gary Nickel, and Glenn Suitor. Enjoy